Greetings and salutations, scholars, and welcome back to the Scholars with a capital S podcast. You are currently listening to the 10th episode of the Scholars with a capital S podcast, and we have a very, very special guest with us, one of our most beloved staff members here at the Scholars Office, Administrative Assistant Mirella Fernandez. Woo! Woo!
I'm not going to do that, but thanks for coming on the podcast, Mirella. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you for having me here today, Rachel and Elijah.
Yeah, so we're going to start off like we always do. We're going to ask you to give an elevator pitch of who Mirella is if you were talking to someone who maybe you've never met before, maybe he's never heard of the Scholars Program.
Okay, so my name is Mirella, and with a name like Mirella, I can just use my first name. Much like Madonna. I live on the south side of Binghamton near the Ross Park Zoo. I have a husband and 2 adult daughters, one in Queens, New York, one who recently moved to St. Petersburg, Florida. And I have been with the Scholars Program almost 5 years now in May, which is hard to believe.
Yeah. Thank you for that answer. Hopefully everyone is now acquainted with who you are.
Yes.
Yes, wonderful. And so you are kind of the front line here at the Scholars Office. And so we were curious, what does the day-to-day job look like for you?
Okay, so I have my little daily routines, and as both of you know, the Scholars Lounge, we try to make it a welcome place to go to, hot chocolate, coffee, make sure everything is stocked. There's water in there, creamers. That's one of the things that I do on a daily basis. I try to check the paper in the copier because if we have a print, big print job, it's better to have the paper in there for it to stop in the middle. But most of my days really depend on the time of the semester that it is. So, for example, course building happens twice a year, even though it really feels like it's all year long thing because it just goes on and on and on. I've been doing a lot of HR work the last couple of weeks because of course building. We have our instructors that will be teaching our courses, and of course we want to get them paid. I do travel, not too much.
Thankfully.
Yeah. Thankfully,
That's
yes.
a tough job.
Yeah, if you interview a lot of the people on campus, in fact, somebody told me, I think that they said travel was one of the most, because it's just very, very involved.
Yeah.
And I do a lot of student reimbursements, as you both know.
Yes.
We have a lot of great programs here with the department, so students are always bringing me in their receipts, and they have a voucher that they sign. We get them their money reimbursed. I do student registrations. We'll have the new students coming in for so the 127. All the freshmen will need to be registered for Scholars 127. I do all the ordering of the Amazon. Catherine does that too. Summer, winter internships, the Guthrie students that are selected. So it's a lot. Certificates when our students are graduating or coming to the induction. Yeah, so it's a little bit of everything and a lot of some things.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
I was going to say, essentially, you do everything in the office.
So Catherine does a lot of everything in the office with me. We do the event planning together.
Right.
So, and I was out for some time, and she did a great job of doing so much
did.
of my stuff. That, so it can vary from day to day too, depending where we are in the semester.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing all of that.
Yeah.
And I think, when students or staff, when we come into the Scholars Office, you're always the first person that we see kind of, guiding us through our journey here at Binghamton. And I
At
think,
your beautiful big desk.
right, exactly.
Isn't that one of the biggest desks you have
I've
ever
ever
seen?
seen. It's
I
true.
am not sure the President Stanger's desk is as big as mine. It's a big desk. I remember coming into this office and looking at that desk, and I was pretty overwhelmed, but you guys know I use a lot of that.
Lots of paperwork.
Yeah.
I think the size of the desk correlates to how important the person is.
Exactly.
in my opinion, and I
Exactly.
think
Do you?
it proves the rule right there.
I'm gonna start looking around for smaller desks.
And so, kind of moving along, something about the scholar's office, which I think a lot of people like Catherine touched upon, is we kind of do a lot of unique things that other offices don't do. And so I was wondering, in these 5 years you've been working here, what has been your favorite aspect of working with the program?
Okay, so you say favorite, but okay. So besides the people I work with, of course, Professor Steve and Catherine, they're great. The students make the program, and it's just being able to work with them every day. You as the students really do so much to make it what it is, and there's so many. You have the student assistants, the council, the mentors, the TAs. Without the students, none of us would be here. So the other thing that's really great is we will often keep in touch with students after they've left the program. Yeah. And that's really fun, just to see how they're doing since they've left, when they've gone on school or they're working. And that's just really, really a fun thing to do, to see how far they've come, to remember them as freshmen and say, oh my gosh, I love that.
No, yeah, definitely. It's like a wonderful part. Like I've even seen alumni come in the office, or people will send postcards.
Yep.
Catherine literally just got
Yep.
invited to
two weddings. Yes, they will, and they'll come in.
Yeah, it's
fun.
sweet. It's really nice.
Yes, it is.
That's a great answer.
Yeah,
and
thank you.
I think we say this every podcast. We ask a similar version of that question, and it's always something about the community. Or the people.
Yeah.
And so it's,
for sure.
It's great. It's always great to hear it, even though we've heard this answer a lot, but it rings true every time. So,
yeah, for sure.
Kind of similar. Something big that the Scholars Program does is a lot of events, right? We have a lot of fun events. We have Scholars Thanksgiving. We have Scholarween, Scholars Halloween, I should say, if you're not familiar. That could sound weird if you didn't know the context. So I'm curious, Mirella, what's your favorite Scholars event?
So I really... That is also, some of these questions are hard, I'm not going to lie. But again, I like the induction and I like the picnic. Mm-hmm. I like seeing the students come in, this is their first time here. For many, it's maybe their first time away from home. And just getting to meet the new students, and it's just fun welcoming the freshmen, and and just thinking, as a more advanced adult, thinking 4 years goes so fast, meeting these students now that are just starting. And, Elijah, you're getting ready to graduate. Rachel, you have one more year. It goes fast.
Yeah.
And, it's fun. I like all of our events. They're all fun.
Yeah.
A lot of planning.
Yes.
But all fun.
I think I kind of like the juxtaposition between induction and the picnic, right? At induction, it's very formal. Mm-hmm. Everyone's kind of dressed up. It's like a fancy thing. And then the picnic's very casual, very fun, games.
Yeah,
games.
And good food all around.
Food at both of them. So that's the important through line.
This is not the department if you're trying to maintain a low weight. Do a lot of eating.
A lot of food.
Yes.
So you mentioned before, we've got a couple of hard questions here, and I would say this is the question that everyone has the most difficulty with. So buckle up.
Oh boy.
If you could change one thing about the program, what would it be?
That's a very hard question. You're not kidding. So I have thought to myself before, and this kind of goes to the event planning, and often we're transporting stuff, say, from the office to wherever we're going to have the event. And I believe I may have asked President Stanger once, and we kind of joked about it, but I think it would be so great to get one of those not sure what they're called, the carts.
Oh.
The gem
cart.
gem carts, that's what it is, to transport our supplies.
As in something you drive?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's one out there. I
Oh
thought
my
about,
goodness.
asking our physical facilities lady, Sharon, if we could borrow it. But,
That is an amazing idea.
you think?
Yes.
And so it's not really changing the program, but it's
That is a
more.
change.
It's an
It's an
addition.
addition.
It's
It's
an
an
improvement.
addition, I think we'd get a lot of use out of it. So,
Yes.
whoever's listening,
I mean, Mirella, do you remember last year we had to pick up the champagne flutes?
which we're getting ready
Yes,
to do.
and we had to cart that little
Yes.
cart like all the way to the
Do you remember
union in the weird
trying to
Sodexo
find-
office and then walk all the way back. It was kind of disastrous, but we had a fun adventure.
We did finding the office.
Yes.
So I think we could get some use out of one of those
little,
gem carts.
like go-kart type thing. Oh my goodness, I would love that. When we have to go and pick up keys from physical facilities, hop on in, guys.
They only go 5 miles an hour, so we could pick up for them if we want.
Still.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
We've been really, and this is since Professor Steve has joined us, trying to have more students aware of the student lounge.
Yes.
And really, using it, and I think it's gotten better.
I agree.
Just really letting them know about it at when we first meet them at the can't think of the word now.
Induction.
The induction and when they come, they take their tours.
Oh.
Yes.
Orientation.
Orientations.
orientation.
Letting them know that it's a great place to just come and it's funny because you'll see it kind of die down. The beginning of the semester you'll get and then it'll kind of slowly decline, but we still have our regulars.
Yeah, I was gonna say that Keurig water is running out faster than it used to.
Yes.
So I think it's getting more use.
Yes.
But that could just be us.
Yeah. So we're going to shift gears a little bit, segue from the scholars program over to you and you as a person, Mirella. And so I'm a little curious, what was your first job and your experience with it?
So I had one of the most fun jobs in the world. And I know, Elijah, you're going to appreciate this because you are teaching a class this year, which I really wanted to sign up for, register for. So I, as a 17-year-old, I believe, got a job at a bakery. And anyone that has lived in this area for many, many years, like myself, will know. There was a bakery named Wagner's Bakery. They were on the west side of Binghamton and Seminary Ave. And this family, they were from Germany, and they came over. They had a shop in Astoria, Queens, and they moved to Binghamton, and they opened this bakery. And that bakery opened every day at 6 a.m. And so there I was every day at 6 a.m., except for Saturdays when I worked 12 to 6. And my family, so we were closed on Mondays. Mm-hmm. My family could not wait. This family, they treated me like family, but my family could not wait for me to come home on Saturdays because they were closed on Sundays and Mondays. Mm-hmm. And so the owners at about, we closed at 6, would start, come on, Mirella, let's get you packed up. They couldn't leave it in there Sunday and Monday. So she would start, boxing up cakes and cookies and breads and eclairs and Napoleons. And I mean, it was just, so my family just really, when I worked there, which was for a few years, I stayed on part-time, once I started college, and would just wait for me to come home on Saturdays to see what I was bringing home, because it was literally, and these bakeries, they work so hard. I mean, they are there in the middle of the night. They start their baking in the middle of the night, which a lot of people probably don't realize. So it was such a fun first job.
That's so cool. I would love to work in a bakery.
Yeah, I'm a little jealous.
It was so fun.
So the closest I ever got to a bakery was Dunkin' Donuts.
It is a bakery, technically.
Close enough.
Yeah.
But, looking to now in the future, what's kind of like your relationship with baking now? Do you still enjoy it? What are your favorite things to bake?
I still think it's fun. So I do make pizzelles, which are like an Italian kind of flat waffly cookie.
Yeah.
You use a press to make them, and they can come in, different flavors. I usually make anisette, which you either really like anisette or you don't like it. And I am, honestly, that's what I'm known for, are my pizzelles. There's a little bit of an art to making them. What's funny is when I went to Italy a few years ago and I brought them to my family, my aunt, they had no idea what they were. So I think, they might be just native to certain regions of Italy.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah.
That's cool.
I can attest they are quite delicious.
They were very good. Yes.
Thank you.
We have a table full of bakers right here at the moment. So it's cool. So I'm curious, after you worked at the bakery, where did your career take you, to now the point where you're working at the Scholar's office?
So this is pretty funny. I went from the bakery to banking. I worked for a bank called Marine Midland Bank, which is now maybe known as HSBC. I'm not sure if HSBC still exists. And I started out as a teller. And I was there 9 years, and I promoted to what was called a platform assistant, which was just, opening accounts. It was a lot of what they had done was they kind of redirected where they went from, their platform assistants, basically people who were working at the desks, were going to either be salespeople or service people. Mm-hmm. So service people, you were, helping people with their overdrawn accounts and such all day long. And I didn't see myself doing that. So I became a salesperson. And my job was, if Rachel or Elijah came to see me, that it was my job to make sure that you walked out of the door with every service we offered as a bank. So you had your checking, you had your savings, you had your credit card, you had your home equity, you had your retirement account, you had everything.
Fascinating.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And then I had a couple different jobs after that, and I ended up here at my favorite place.
Nice. We're glad to have you here.
Yeah.
And I think it's really funny that you went from baking to banking, because it's just a one-letter addition. Throw an N in there.
Yeah. I never thought of it that way.
But literally, it's a triple B. It's baking, banking, Binghamton.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy to think about. It must be your favorite letter, and you didn't even realize.
I guess so. That's funny.
But, kind of moving along to that, from that, one of my favorite things to talk to you about is travel. We gabbed a lot about my trip to Italy over the summer. And so I was kind of wondering, do you have any exciting travel plans coming up in the future?
I have very exciting travel plans coming up in just 2 weeks. Less than 2 weeks. So my oldest daughter, who lives in Queens, is getting married in Costa Rica.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's been a little bit stressful for me
Sure.
to think about, and I understand that every mother of the bride has a little anxiety about it, but she's very well. She seems to be in great shape. Her future mother-in-law is actually from Costa Rica.
Okay.
So it'll be nice that, there's family there, and I've never been, so I am definitely looking forward to it. The first half of the trip will be all wedding-based, and the second half of the trip, we are going to Manuel Antonio National Park, which is supposed to be one of the most beautiful parks in Costa Rica, and you can just see the sloths and the howler monkeys and the toucans and all that. So I'm looking forward to that. We're getting a guide to take us through, and I am I'm looking forward to it. I think the second half of the trip may be slightly more relaxing than the first half of the trip. So, yeah, I love to travel. I do.
That's awesome. On a similar note, what are some of your favorite trips that you've taken in the past?
Oh, my gosh. So this past summer, I went to Greece for 2 weeks.
Wow.
I had a very short bucket list, and Greece was at the top of my bucket list. I absolutely loved it. We went for a destination wedding. My friend, the mother of the bride, actually was born and raised there, so they kind of took us all over, and it was a dream come true. We were there at the height of the heat wave and the wildfires.
Oh.
We actually sat outside on the day of the wedding in 110 degrees.
Wow.
For an hour outside. They had a bar set up with water and cloths, and I mean it was just so hot in that sun, but it was the most beautiful thing I've ever experienced. So I spend a lot of time in Italy because I have family there. Aunt Mirella is still alive. My namesake. My mom was born and raised there. And the other place that I really, really love is Hawaii. I've only been there once, and I hope to go back again. It's definitely a paradise. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Kind of moving toward a more mundane area of the world. You kind of talked about this in the fact that the bakery you worked at, but have you lived in Binghamton your whole life? Did you grow up here?
So most of my life, I was born in Niagara Falls, New York, which I tell people that, and they look at me like people are really born there, like it's just like a tourist destination, you know. But I was born actually in the city of Niagara Falls, where I still have family, cousins, and we're usually there 2 or 3 times a year. My husband loves to go to the Canadian side.
Mm-hmm.
He just, he travels for a living, but I think, it's there's a lot more to do. We try to go at least once a year to Canada, visit the family, and
That's awesome. So kind of back on Binghamton, what are some of your favorite restaurants? And as someone, who appreciates good Italian food, what are maybe some of your favorite Italian restaurants in the area?
Okay.
Please let me know.
I'm going to ask you yours, too. This isn't going to just be about me, for sure. So I really love Cortez's.
I've yet to be there.
I've
heard
great things.
Amazing things.
Cortez's has really great pizza.
Ooh.
It's different. It's a little bit of a thicker, like a pastry kind of a. It's just really good.
That sounds amazing.
You should go there on Thursdays. They have half-price pizza.
Oh, wow.
I recommend it.
Oh, I'm excited.
That's awesome.
So
Thank you for the tip. Yeah.
And this is really funny. I actually got married at Cortez's.
Oh,
I
my
had
goodness.
my reception there. So
That's
they have,
awesome.
which they have been in the community for years and years and years.
Yeah.
It kind of goes to show their staying power. The restaurants are very, they're very, they can be very cyclical,
Yes.
and so I like Cortez's. I love Council's, which also has wonderful pizza in Endicott.
Okay.
And I love Michelangelo's. Michelangelo's just has like a great menu. Have you ever been there?
I've not been.
I haven't been to any of those.
I haven't been to any of those places, and I only have heard of the first one, too.
Yeah.
Before you graduate, Elijah, at least, And
We'll take Eli there.
we can just go on pizza night sometime to Cortez's.
Yes!
Maybe we can work it into one of our events.
I was going to say. Or,
What could
a
we
staff
do?
meeting.
A staff
I pick up
What could we do?
some food. I don't
Yeah.
know. This is a great idea.
Yeah.
My ideas are running wild.
Yeah, what are your favorite? What's your favorite restaurant?
So I would say locally, I live downtown this year.
Okay. Yeah.
So I've really grown to become obsessed with Lost Dog Cafe.
Oh, I love Lost Dog.
Love Lost Dog
I
so
do.
much.
I love Lost Dog.
I really like Grosh Taco.
I've never been there.
It's really fun. It's just like a really fun place. They have an amazing, like, insanely large burrito that has French fries in it. It's like crazy. Like,
Okay.
you're like set for the entire day if you eat that. And 205 Dry is really cool. I went there
I've been,
for the first time this year, and that's just like...
It's a fun place.
It's just fun.
It's fun.
You know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, those are, like, my things. But I don't know about, like, the local, like, community restaurants. You know what I'm saying?
Every one of those 3 restaurants, I just rattled off our Italian restaurant.
Yeah.
So I love Lost Dog. How about you, Elijah?
I really like Lover's Sushi in
Oh my
Endicott.
gosh, me too. Oh
Which
my
one?
goodness.
Lover's Sushi.
Amazing.
They have a great lunch special.
Oh my goodness.
Especially if you're a student
And
and,
they
you don't have
make
much money.
I love
beautiful, like, arrangements
Yes.
with your food, with, like, flowers and stuff like that.
Oh.
So
They decorate
cute.
it. Yeah,
Fun.
it's really fun.
It's amazing.
Fun.
Yes.
I've got to go
place.
there.
Mhm.
I love sushi.
Yeah, you should definitely go.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, and I think we have one more question
Yeah.
for you.
So, I mean, we obviously discussed your baking hobby, but are there any other hobbies that, you know, you enjoy that we don't know about?
So, you know, our season is rather short in the area, but I love little gardening. You know, I love to plant tomatoes and basil, and I'll get some mozzarella and I'll make the little skewers, you know, what do they call it on a plate? I can't remember now.
Caprese?
The caprese salad, you know, with just the, when it's homegrown, it just tastes so different.
Oh my goodness.
What
making me hungry.
right? What I've got to do is take a mozzarella making class, which
Oh.
they've offered before locally.
Oh my goodness.
I wanted
So cool.
I would love that.
I've like watched
fun.
videos.
I
yeah.
love mozzarella
Wouldn't it be
cheese.
fun? They actually had that locally. I forgot who offered it not that long ago. Yeah, I didn't get there, but can you imagine what that would taste like? Some olive oil.
Oh yeah.
Delectable. I
Right?
can't.
It tastes so different when it's
Yes,
homegrown.
definitely.
So I do like my gardening when the season permits, and this is kind of funny, but sometimes at night I don't watch a lot of TV. I will go home, and I feel like it keeps my mind active, and do Sudoku.
Oh, that's nice.
That's fun.
I
yeah.
also like Sudoku. Yeah.
It kind of like relaxes me in a
Yeah.
way.
Oh, for sure.
And if I'm doing something that's too hard, the level, I'll look in the back because they have their answers, and I'll find like 1 or 2 numbers that I need just to get me
To the next
out
step.
of my.
Yeah.
Is that cheating?
It's supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
It's your own personal
it's
experience.
kind-
you do with that what you will.
And I feel like it's good for the mind. So yeah.
I'm big on crosswords.
Are you?
Yeah, I think they're fun.
Crosswords are fun.
I love.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I do all the New York Times.
Yes,
little
all
games,
their
yeah.
little games. Oh my goodness, it's like my favorite thing
Yeah.
at the end of the day when I'm like, time to do the connections, Wordle,
For sure,
Mini.
yeah.
You know, I love it.
Yeah. And traveling. I love to travel. If I could travel, all the time, I would travel. It's just fun to check out the world.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So congratulations, you've made it through all the questions. We're into the fun segments. So we're gonna first start with the recommendation rectangle. So we're all going to recommend a musical artist or band that we love. So Mirella, would you like to kick us off?
Okay. My music is all over the map. I love music. But one of my favorite artists is Lady Gaga.
Yes.
I've been to see her, and it was such a fun experience, and for many reasons, I like her music, but she's talented.
Mm-hmm.
She plays piano,
Yep.
guitar, drums. I mean, she acts.
Yes.
She dances. I just feel like she's she's probably
She's a star,
She's
you
one of my
know?
favorites. She's a star. She's one of my favorites. But I love, I grew up in the 70s. Talk disco with me, I can tell you anything. But she right now is I would say my favorite.
Oh my goodness. I was not expecting you to say that,
No?
but I am so happy you did. I love Lady Gaga.
I love her.
She just has such a beautiful voice too.
And you know what I recently read? That she's a nice person.
Yes.
And I like
Yes.
and I like to read that because
Yes.
you'll read this about different
certain celebrities.
different
Yeah.
celebrities that they're just not nice or don't take that, and that she is just very down to
Yeah,
earth. and a
I've
nice
always
person.
noticed that with like interviews
Yep.
with her and just like seeing like random fan interactions. She's just a very
Yeah, so
gracious
I like
person.
her. I like her for many reasons. Yeah.
Wonderful answer.
Yeah. she was great in A Star Is Born.
Yes.
That's an all-time great movie.
I just feel like she can do it all.
I agree.
Yeah.
Very, very talented.
Good answer.
How about you
Yes.
guys?
So Rachel, would you like
My
to go?
turn. So I was kind of like twiddling my thumbs over this because I didn't know what I wanted to say. Because I like a lot of like random music all over genres. So I settled on Paramore because I have been on a Paramore kick recently, and I don't even think I have like listened to them as much like this much since probably like elementary school or something like really wild. But similarly to like my love for Lady Gaga, Hayley Williams, who's the frontrunner of the band, like the singer, just an amazing voice, so talented, also very like unproblematic. They kind of fall off the radar a lot and come back out, but I mean, I love their old music and their new music. I've consistently really like enjoyed their work. So yeah, Paramore, definitely. Any of it. You could go back to their first album, to their newest album. It's all great.
Well, that's how long have they been? I'm not very familiar.
They've been active. I mean, okay, I'm thinking like early, like 2000s, like 2010s type. Okay, they formed in 2004. That's not when they were peak popular. But yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I'm
they've
thinking-
been around a while.
I'm thinking they got like really popular around 2008, 2009.
Staying power.
Yeah. And they're still relevant, which is really interesting.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Wonderful. So I'm going to go with, if you know me, you know I like classic stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go with the Beatles,
Oh.
classic band, all-time great. And the reason that I say the Beatles is just because if you were to ask me what my favorite Beatles song is, I genuinely couldn't tell you an answer because there are too
Yeah.
many that I love. So I made a quick little list of my favorites. I'm going to read
Okay.
through very quickly, just in case you're interested. So there's
Yes.
Let It Be, Yesterday, Hey Jude, Eleanor Rigby, Penny Lane, Twist and Shout, Here Comes the Sun, She Loves You. I could name many
You
more.
left out Yellow Submarine.
Oh,
Yellow
see,
Submarine, come
honestly,
on.
I don't really love that one. But
Strawberry Fields,
That
like
you
Yeah.
are, you know what, you can't go wrong with the Beatles. You're right.
Yeah.
They're just so,
They're so
so
mad.
classic. There's just, yeah.
you can't. They're
No.
just perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they are. They were.
Mm-hmm.
They were perfect. Yep.
it's
Yeah.
something about like nostalgia, you know, that really. I mean,
Yeah.
I wasn't alive when they were.
Back to that time.
You know,
Nostalgic
I
for
was
time
even
I
a
wasn't
little,
alive.
believe it or not, I was even a little bit young for them, but I
Yeah.
remember my older cousins being all over, you
Mm-hmm.
know, my parents talking about them, you know, that Sullivan show and,
Yeah.
you know, their first appearance. Yeah.
So we've given you, the listener, 3 great bands to listen to now, or artists in the case of Lady Gaga. All right, so it's game time, everyone's favorite segment. And today we have a segment that I'm very, very excited for. It's going to be drafting the best Italian menu. So you're going to have to, each of us are going to draft a drink,
I'm stressed.
pasta, main dish, salad, and dessert. You can draft them in any order, but once someone drafts something, you cannot
Cannot
take it.
have it.
And we're going to do a snake order. Morella's going to be first, Rachel will be second,
Thank you.
I'll be third. And so for a little context, so Mirella, obviously you have family from Italy. Rachel, you're also Italian. I am not Italian, but I've been told I'm an honorary Italian because I cook a lot of Italian food.
Okay.
There's a story behind that, but not for the podcast. Okay, so we're going to get started.
And we're picking one thing at a time, right?
One thing at a time.
Okay.
So Mirella, you're going to go first. So it'll be like Mirella, Rachel, Eli, and then since the snake order will go backwards, it'll be Eli, Rachel, Mirella, then Mirella, Rachel, Eli.
Yeah.
And I'll keep track of everything.
Oh, boy. Okay. So I'm going to start with a drink?
You can pick
You can pick
anything
whatever
you
you
want.
want.
Oh,
yeah.
I could pick whatever I want. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to start with a drink.
Yeah. What are you picking?
An aperitivo with a spritz.
Okay, that is, I don't even know how to spell that.
It's, you want me to tell you?
Yeah,
Apertivo.
with a spritz.
It's kind of a bitter, sweet, orangey. Are you familiar with it? Okay.
It's what I was gonna say.
Oh,
You stole it from me. It's all right.
very popular drink over there.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
I had them while I was in Italy, and they were great. It was very fun with the meal. Okay,
Yeah.
my
Right,
turn.
Rachel's pick.
All right, I'm swooping in and stealing this
I know.
because I think it's the best option for this one category.
Yeah.
Going for the salad, caprese salad.
Yeah, I knew you were going to do that. As soon as you started talking.
Yep.
I had a feeling.
I was thinking long and hard about it, and I'm like, Italian salad. And then I realized, it's just like, I'm just so obsessed with mozzarella cheese. And like tomato. Oh, it's just so good. It's so good. So yes, that is what I'm stealing.
All right, wonderful. So that I get 2 picks now,
Yes.
and I'm gonna
Why?
because it's a
The
snake,
snake
draft.
order.
So it goes
So
that
there
way.
will be a time when you
I
get 2
see.
picks
So
as
you're
well.
like first. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So with my first pick, I will be taking a drink. I'm going to take red wine. So that's my pick. Can't go wrong with wine. And then for my main dish, I'm gonna take eggplant parm.
No!
Which is my
You
favorite.
didn't take chicken parm?
Of course not. I'm
Oh
taking
my
eggplant parm.
goodness, I'm devastated right now.
I was gonna say eggplant.
I was gonna say eggplant.
Well, I feel very good about my pick now. So Rachel, it goes to you. I feel the stares at me right
All right,
now. I feel like people are
I'm gonna
angry.
go for a pasta,
Okay.
and I'm gonna say penne alla vodka.
Oh, good pick. Good pick. It was on my board, I think. Actually, no, it wasn't. But that is one of my favorite Italian dishes.
Okay, it's my turn.
Yes. So you get 2 picks now, and you've already
Okay.
picked the aperitivo.
Okay, aperitivo. I'm gonna go for dessert,
Okay.
and it's a hard one.
I'm scared.
There's a few good options.
Are you-
There's a lot of good Italian desserts.
There's yeah. I'm gonna say tiramisu.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
good pick. And you get another pick.
And I'm gonna go with the salad. I like a good antipasto.
Mm-hmm.
When I say
That was what I was gonna
would
say.
that be considered salad? I guess.
I say that counts.
And I'm not even sure. You know, if you went to Italy, they would give you Italian with crumbly blue, but here we do, and I really like a good antipasto. Councils has great antipastos.
There we go. Even got a restaurant rack in
Yep.
there as well.
Yeah, I can tell you where to get
There you
it.
go.
All right, Rachel. So you get a pick now. You have picked caprese and penne alla vodka.
Okay, I'm gonna go for salad. Not salad,
Yeah.
dessert. Sorry, I'm so focused on that. I'm gonna say a cannoli.
Oh my goodness! I cannot believe what has fallen to me. But
So, Rachel, it sounds like you probably know your cannolis. I make them every year with a group of ladies
Oh my
right before
goodness.
Christmas, but you guys are gone already. Otherwise, I
Yeah.
would share them with you. Don't ever go somewhere and buy one that's pre-filled.
Yes.
You do know that? You know
Yes.
that.
Yes, I do know that. You have to.
Because that's a red flag.
Yes.
They need
It's
to
true.
do it right in front
Right
of
in front of you. Right in front of you. Yes.
okay. Perfect. So now I get 2 picks, and so far I've picked eggplant parm and red wine. So I'm gonna try to stay on theme. I'm trying to get a themed meal going. So for my pasta, I'm gonna take lasagna alla bolognese.
Oh.
Hopefully staying on that the red
Bolognese
sauce, red
is a-
wine theme.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And then actually what's interesting is my last 2 categories are the salad and the dessert, which you both have taken. So I can take, there's no like pressure, you know?
Yes.
There's no, so it's, I'm the last one to fill these categories. So for the dessert, I'm going to go with gelato, which I'm shocked that neither of you took.
I
because
thought about it. I
So
thought about
good.
it, and I had so much gelato while I was in Italy. But I've just the cannoli's so unique. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's.
Yeah, my favorite Italian dessert is gelato. And I think that's kind of the beauty is that it's so universal. Is that like, I feel like you could find people who don't like cannoli.
What's your flavor?
I like chocolate or dark
Oh,
chocolate.
yeah. Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Oh,
Gotta be
totally.
chocolate, yeah.
Oh my god! I had a bunch of Nutella gelato.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
It was so good. It was so good.
first time I ever had Nutella was in Italy. Like
oh my goodness.
so many years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So many years ago.
All right, so Rachel, back to you.
Okay.
So far you have caprese, penne alla vodka, and cannoli, and you need a drink and a main dish.
Here's the thing. You kind of messed me up here, with the entree.
had
But
great entree
I'm gonna
pick,
go
yeah.
for. What's actually funny is that they don't really do this in Italy that much, but we love it here. So I'm gonna go with a chicken parm.
You know, I specifically didn't pick chicken parm because it's not Italian.
It is
It's
not.
Italian American.
Exactly.
You are right.
But you
about
know what?
that.
That's fine because I'm still counting it because.
But you can pick it, but I will judge you. As someone who's not Italian, I'm going to gatekeep this.
Okay. Well, because the problem is the other entrees I can think of are all pastas.
Yeah.
Unless I say pizza.
I had pizza on my board. Yeah. But I didn't want to take it. Okay. So Mirella, you get 2 picks. Your final 2 picks. So far you've taken your aperitivo, tiramisu, and antipasto. So you need your main dish and not your salad. Sorry.
Okay.
Your main dish
so
and your pasta.
Since you took my main dish of eggplant,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with, and I'm not sure they serve this there either, or if this is just more in our culture. Bruschel.
Yes.
Did they make that there?
I don't
think
know.
What is? How do you spell it?
Brush. BRAC.
Let me see. how to spell it.
Braciole. Yeah, I've
Bruschel.
never
It's like
heard it
it's
said.
like very thin meat that's rolled up, and it has something in the middle. It's like stuffed with something.
Braciole.
Yeah, I think they have that in Italy,
Do
according
they?
to my Google search.
Okay.
Very,
I've never. I
or
don't
actually,
think
no, they say it's American.
Oh,
Never mind.
okay.
That's okay.
Then that's not a good answer.
You can still take
No,
it.
keep it. You can't have the fake Italian criticizing our decisions.
Okay,
Oh, I can,
No,
and
but
I
I feel
will,
like there's
but,
no excuses for me. I'm 100%. I mean, and pasta. I'm going to give a very generic answer to pasta.
Okay.
It has to be al dente.
Al dente.
And that is my only requirement.
requirement.
I will eat any pasta as long as it's al dente, which I think everyone knows. It's got to have a bite to it.
Yeah.
It's my husband cooks it for like way longer, and it's like glue. It's just not the way we eat pasta.
Okay, that's
Alright.
wonderful.
My
turn?
Yes, Rachel, your
Alright.
last pick.
I'm going to say limoncello.
Oh yeah, I love limoncello.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
Solid pick. And then my last pick is my salad. And if you know me, you know I don't really like salad. But I'm still going to pick one. I'm going to pick panzanella, which is an Italian salad made from pieces of stale, moistened bread with the addition of tomatoes, onions, or basil, and a dressing of vinegar and olive oil, native to the region of Tuscany.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful.
I have
So-
heard of it before. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, yeah. So I think, honestly, I'm very confident in saying my menu is the most Italian one
I don't
here.
think that's what we're saying, though.
But I feel like you guys picked American dishes. This is
Italian American dishes.
sure,
You
but not
trying to
Italian.
disregard my heritage right now? Italians did come here and make chicken parm.
They did, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But what is chicken?
And
parm?
what's red wine?
red wine? Yeah.
Red wine, is that? Do they only make that in Italy?
Well, they do make it in Italy. They also make it in other
And what kind of
countries.
red wine? You didn't even specify what red wine you're drinking. You don't even know. You don't even know. Yeah, that's what I thought.
I went
That's
big.
what
I went
thought.
big because I wanted people to, they could project whatever red wine they liked. in there. It was a strategy, strategic choice that I made. Okay, so I'm going to read out all of our menus, and then the audience can decide which one is the best because they're all great in their own special way.
Yeah.
They're gonna leave a comment when they listen.
Leave a comment and tell us which one is the best.
Yes, please.
So
Humble Eli.
I probably need that. Yeah. So Mirella,
Yes.
your drink was the aperitivo with a spritz.
Yep.
Then your dessert was tiramisu. Your salad was antipasto. Your main dish was
Braciole.
Braciole. Yeah. And then your pasta was al dente.
Anything. Any
Anything.
pasta basically just has
Yeah.
to be al dente.
And then Rachel, your menu, you had the caprese salad, which I'll give you, that was the best salad
Best
on the board.
choice.
Best salad on the board. And you had penne alla vodka, cannoli, chicken parm, and limoncello. And I will say, I'm pretty sure penne alla vodka does not come from Italy either. So,
Okay, well, I ate it in Italy, so.
Not sure, but okay. I mean, fact check me. I'm not as confident on that one as I am about chicken parm, but I'm pretty sure because I was researching foods and
Okay,
that one.
I wasn't. I was just like, what Italian food do I eat?
And then my menu, which is my favorite one, I had
It should be.
I had red wine, eggplant parm, which seemed to be a big hit when I picked that. Then lasagna alla bolognese, gelato, and panzanella. So
I'm not gonna lie. I think they all sound fabulous.
They all sound
I would
really
eat
good.
any of these. I'm going to be honest. So
Me too.
You wouldn't. You
I would probably skip all the salads, but I would eat the rest
You would
of
eat.
it.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So that has been our episode. Thank you so much to everyone who listened. Thank you to Mirella for being a wonderful guest. You were
Thank
a pleasure
you.
to have on the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me, both of you.
Thank you.
And as always, it's Scholars with a capital S.